The government of Tonga says it's facing a long programme of rebuilding and reconstruction, just over a week after it was devastated by a volcanic eruption and a tsunami. Foreign aid is arriving into Tonga, but strict COVID rules are hampering humanitarian efforts as the local authorities try to keep the virus out of the country. Well, Tonga, which is made up of a group of islands in the South Pacific, entire villages were destroyed in the tsunami and some are still without basic necessities like clean water. Well, much of the relief effort for Tonga is being coordinated in neighbouring Fiji. Our correspondent Shaima Khalil is in the Fijian capital Suva with this update.
Aid has arrived in Tonga and a lot of it is being coordinated from here in Fiji. Countries like Australia, New Zealand, Japan and Britain have sent everything from water supplies to shelter kits, generator, even sweeping machines as well. The concern now is that this is going to be a slow process. Getting aid and distributing it to people who need it the most is very, very tricky on any occasion. Add the fear of a COVID-19 outbreak to that equation, and you see how complex this is. The Tongan government has insisted that the aid should be contactless. They just do not want a COVID-19 case in the country. They don't want to be dealing with a COVID-19 outbreak as they're dealing with the devastation, which means that supplies are there on the ground, but aid workers are not. So essentially it's up to people in Tonga to distribute that aid, whether it be volunteers or other aid workers inside the country. The concern now is how fast the aid is going to get to people and how far it can get, especially to far-flung places. There are also, of course, health concerns, the quality of the air, the quality of the water. They have been compromised by the ash in the atmosphere, not just the thick ash that you see, the fine particles that could be inhaled and can cause respiratory diseases. There are high levels of sulfur in the water, and these also can cause waterborne diseases. So apart from the aid distribution, the physical destruction all around Tonga, there are also the health risks. UN officials has said that the country, the Pacific nation, will rely on food aid for a long time to come because the crops have been destroyed, farmers have lost their livelihoods, they've lost their homes, and one of the Tongan officials have also said that the road to recovery for this Pacific nation is going to be long and hard. So in the days to come, as this destruction reveals itself, as the extent of it becomes clearer, the challenges facing Tonga are also being revealed.
Well, let's hear from John Tukuafu, who was caught up in the eruption, and his wife, Marianne.
Marianne, she called me to come and pick her up. She just said that she's having difficulties breathing, and then she said that the sea is a bit, it's weird. So when I came, as soon as I left the house, we just seen that there was a big ash cloud, a white one, with a volcano. And then we just came to the graveyard. As soon as I seen the ocean, I've never seen the ocean like that in my life. The wave was already started to come on the road, and I seen just more and more of the oceans ready to come in. So I was a bit scared to pick up my wife, so I went down close to Wakalai and I went to scream for her. And then I had no response.